What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Man, my apologies, everyone. My apologies. This is beyond the pale late. Reckless streams, reckless streams. So yes, it is a reckless streams. And my apologies. Hopefully you guys can hear me and I'm not going out. Y'all know how this goes. So like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Yeah, I'm going to without much interruption, but it's gonna happen. Once again, reckless streams. I might have to play. It depends on how much I am satisfied with my own presentation here. So I might have to play a clip. It won't be video. It will be sound of Vlad interviewing Kevin some years ago. So um, y'all go ahead and like up the stream, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Definitely hit the super chat because this might be demonetized. For real though. So I just want to put that out there. And we'll see, right? Um, and so and Mr. Shukti, you said we could have waited for afternoon Z. Look, maybe not today. It would have definitely had to be later on, but I wanted to respond to Diallo um kind of as soon as possible. So I shared the stream in my post, in my community post last night. And then Mr. Z had some errands to run, so I wasn't able to actually listen to it, even though I shared it. So because when I was listening to the parts that I did listen to, maybe the first maybe 15 or so, 20 or so minutes, Diallo hadn't got into the main core of his argument concerning Kevin Samuels and how Kevin Samuels and his black male I guess um, Diallo would maybe call sycophants or followers at best, maybe sycophants at, well, maybe not even worse, but somewhere in the middle or medium. So Diallo hadn't gotten there yet, and Mr. Z had things to do. I was actually touching grass, um, so I was able to kind of listen to what I needed to listen to, the whole thing. I listened to the whole entire thing this morning, right? And that's why Mr. Z's title is what it is. You know, as a let's first put this out here. Z doesn't look too dissimilar from Diallo Kenyatta, right? I'm a bald guy. I have a beard, although my beard is much longer than Diallo. And I can see a world where a highly educated Z who's pro-black sounds a lot like a Diallo. I can see if I would have continued down a particular path, how I could have sounded and thought of the world, in particular, black man, black woman relationships, much like how Diallo at least talks about it. We don't know how much he actually is, and as you saw with FD signifying, what he admitted to me on my channel, how much Diallo actually buys into this. Because if you caught it, Diallo did actually say something, and he said this multiple times, which is the ladies want a revolutionary in the sheets, but a capitalist in the streets, right? Capitalist in the streets, revolutionary in the sheets. And you've heard similar speech from Kim Foster. And oftentimes when they say that, it's a blink and you'll miss it comment. It's a throwaway comment. It's a throwaway comment. It doesn't actually fully deal with the hypocrisy that black men are dealing with in the dating scene concerning particularly black women, but all women, if we're going to be honest. Which is, and Diallo, if you've never heard this before, this is why Mr. Z says the women want excuse me, not capitalism, I'm about to say what you say, but no, the women want patriarchy by feminist specifications. And this is something y'all can't actually, whenever y'all grapple with it and have to be hit with the full weight of what the women are demanding now. Mr. Z, watch y'all not actually grapple with what the black manosphere is presenting here. Huh? It's capitalism that the women want. They want it. They want the lifestyle, right? And whatever I wanted to say, FD, what Kevin would present to the ladies is, well, these are the type of men you want and you find appealing and attractive. Okay, this is what at least the men I'm interacting with, I know these guys. This is what they're saying they want from the women that want them. And that's when the women would start sounding insane. Actually, they would sound insane from the beginning. Let's address something that Diallo said, and much of the crux of that Kevin wouldn't say to the men and to the women that your issue is capitalism, right? Now let's address the women part. Diallo, you have been married to your wife, according to you, for 22 years. You really don't appreciate, and shout out to Miss Kenyatta, right? Miss Diallo, you have a rare one. I think you obviously y'all been married for more than 2 decades, which by the way is beyond the pale in the black community because the average marriage in the black community is about 5 or so years. So that's a plus on y'all. Number one. Number two, that also speaks to Diallo. You don't fully appreciate, like clearly that's your wife we're speaking about right now, but you don't really appreciate how rare she is. First of all, 2 decades of marriage. Secondly, that your wife has a PhD, and from my understanding, you have a master's, but you don't have a PhD. Diallo, that's what the black women are saying. They would look at you, Diallo, as a dusty compared to your wife. They would ask her, why is she with you? Right? Like, do you appreciate what we're saying here? Number one. Number two, the capitalism part. The women see that as excuses. They see that as dusty excuses, loser talk. You know what they would respond to you with, Diallo? If you said, well, ma'am, what your issue is capitalism. You're viewing this through a neoliberal lens, which, by the way, Diallo, Mr. Z doesn't actually fully disagree with you on this. You know what the women would say? Those are excuses. And the white women aren't told to settle. Why do black women have to settle? That's what they would say, Diallo. Diallo, that's what the women would say. Brother Diallo, let me play some things for you so you can get an idea of what the dating scene is. Because I think what happens, once again, is that brothers like you in FD and Foreign Man in a Foreign Land and Conscious Lee, right? And Geechee Ya and Dr. Jared Ball, y'all are in these bubbles, these pro-black bubbles, these kind of airy fairy bubbles, and y'all don't really appreciate that the second you step your big toe out of that damn bubble, it's a whole different world, including in the black community. And dear Diallo, you ain't getting the women off of it. We could snap our fingers tomorrow and all the brothers could be super pro-black and not about capitalism and ultra revolutionaries. And the women would, well, they're already giving the vagina up to white men anyway in secret. Oops, that's what they would be doing. They're not moving, Diallo. Kevin presented what he needed to present because anything short of that, and even you said it, if you would have, but you framed it differently, if you would go at more marginalized groups, you could quadruple your numbers. Diallo, what you don't fully appreciate is that if we were to snap our fingers and turn black men into what you're saying, the women wouldn't budge. They wouldn't be like, you know what, brother, you right. I do view this, and I do view you. I was viewing you as just a thing. I wasn't viewing you as a real human being, and I was viewing you as a walking one and an over-glorified guard dog. And you right about that. And I need to reevaluate. They wouldn't. There wouldn't be no mea culpa. There wouldn't be no come to Jesus moment. I know you're atheist, but there wouldn't be no epiphany. That wouldn't exist. That wouldn't happen. The women would just see those brothers as losers, dusty losers, using excuses. Huh? Let me forward to you, right, what is actually going on in the quote unquote dating scene and what young men, young black men in particular, are coming across. What they're being met with when they're on these dates. Let's play this real quick. Here y'all go.
And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, Let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year.
I can tell you lack education in the pay of city workers, cause all of the above can make over 100K. But go on.
Hey, it's pathetic. It's sad, all right? I don't want my husband coming home smelling like trash. Yes, we do need people to take the trash out.
Like yourself, the trash. The difference is he could shower that smell off. But when you are trash, there's no remedy for that. But go on.
You guys need to go get some real careers, okay?
I knew it.
Didn't really care for the twerking. Didn't really do it. You need to, and she continues with this spiel, but Diallo, that's what black men are running into. Yes, even some of the pro-black sisters, they're not framing it in particular in this way. They're not as ratchet, right? But the overall message is this, right? I want you to appreciate that. We're gonna do some defending of Kevin Samuels here today, because y'all keep on dancing on this man's grave, and I saw how you mocked him, and you kind of gave a blink and a wink and a nod. Better yet, not blink and a nod, but a wink and a nod to the sisters twerking on Kevin Samuels' grave when he passed, because what he was doing was so egregious, right? We're gonna play what Kevin Samuels was interacting with every single night he turned on that damn camera. And let's watch how you defend it, Diallo. Because y'all perfectly okay with watching black women. You want to talk about neo-Nazis and Nazi talk? Y'all were perfectly okay with watching black women get real close, fly over the line, if we're going to be honest, with the Nazi talk concerning black men because of Kevin Samuels. That's the thing. It's always the men feel uncomfortable talking about the women and the women's misbehavior. Okay, fine. We'll let the women do it. And we're mothballs right now because the women ain't going to do it because they tacitly agree, overtly agree. Oops. Huh? Y'all get so buck with other black men. Foreign men in a foreign land calling black men Nick cells. FD signifier mocking black men, consciously mocking black men. Y'all get so buck with black men. Ain't nobody say anything to the sisters. Not other black women, not black men. At most, what we get is blinking you'll miss it comments every once in a blue moon from Julesy or from T Noir or from Kim Foster or from Diallo. Most of the black men or they feel uncomfortable addressing the women. I don't want to, and like FD said, I don't want to encourage the men who might think a certain way. I don't want to give them excuses. I don't want to yawn. Huh? But let's continue. That was the ratchet sister that we just played, right? Go become an entrepreneur. Yawn. Let's play the more professional woman. And this is broken down in 2 clips, but we'll play it. Here you go. Right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Mr. Z, this is going to get demonetized, I promise y'all. But like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Here we go. Oh, yeah, before we actually do that, right? Fair use, fair use. Once again, fair use, fair use. We're going to leave this up for a second, right? Because we already know. Okay. Y'all know how the YouTube police are, right? So we're gonna play these back to back because it's broken down in 2 clips, and then we'll come back and give our commentary on the other side.
Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. And this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, you know, a man who...
dating down.
So women, you know, we're more educated now. And so with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, you know, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one. because you're dating down.
I hate.
You wanted to make more money.
Right.
You know, are you going to find many men out there that makes as much as you do?
And my point is, so now you're going to, because we hear so
Look
much
at her
about
face,
women that are
Diallo.
like, oh,
Look at
there's
her
nobody
face.
out there, there's no one out there, I can't find love, I'm getting too old. Now you're going to sacrifice the fact that you
Look
can
at her face,
find that
Diallo.
love because the man's not making that much money.
Huh? Okay, that was part one. Here's part
The
two.
man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, you know, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down.
I hate that, yeah.
What is that about? It wasn't called dating down.
Right.
Yeah.
When men were the breadwinners and all that kind of.
It's called taking care
Now
of your
it's
family.
dating down.
Yeah.
I have to date down now. What is that? You wanted to make more money. You make more money. What's the if there is a responsibility with making
Look
more
at
money?
her face,
first of all, I don't
Diallo.
believe
Look at
any
a
of
black
it.
woman's
But
face.
If there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it. You wanted to make more money.
Right.
You know, are you going to find many men out there that makes as much as you do?
And my point is, so now you're going to, because we hear so much about women that are like, oh, there's nobody out there, there's no one out there, I can't find love, I'm getting too old. Now you're going to sacrifice the fact that you could find that
Look at her
love
face.
because the man's not making that much money, and you're going to date down.
All right.
No,
They're
date
wrapping us. I have a
down.
feeling this is going to be our morning rush extra.
I
We
could
have a
do bad by
lot
myself.
left.
And you see the response? I'll do bad by myself, or I could do bad by myself. Whatever the exact words were, you know what the sentiment is because you looked at her face. Diallo, that is what black men are running into. That you want us to say, you know what, ladies? It's because you think in a capitalist way and you have a neoliberal lens. And Diallo, you're right. You're correct. The women don't want to hear it. The women don't want to hear it. They see it as excuses. In their mind, you're telling them to settle for men that are less than men, who are not performing, if we're going to call a thing, because everybody loves throwing out the European beauty standard. These men are not performing to white men's hierarchical providership standards. Huh? The status standards, the success standards. Z, say the word. Z, say the word. The patriarchal standards. Diallo, this is what it is. Huh? This is what it is. And thank you for the information, Mr. Donnie Mac. Mr. Donnie Mac said her name is Francesca Amaker. Amaker. She is still a newscaster, TV/TV correspondent in Atlanta. Go figure, right? Oh, and he goes on to say, "This is old. She's now in LA." Indigo. I think that's what. Okay, right? Oh man, Diallo. This is what it is. That's who black men are running into. Diallo, we can't make wives out of women like this. You are over 2 decades into your marriage, according to you. These women would be out the door within 5, 7, 10 years at max. It's lifestyle over everything. Check that marriage rate for black women, Diallo. Huh? And it gets worse, Diallo. We could keep on going. Here you go.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you. When
You're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you, she doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up.
I'm
You
just-
talking
Huh, Diallo? That's the dating scene, Diallo. See, you've been on the dating scene for 2 decades. You don't know. Oh, Diallo, don't worry, because I know your oldest son. I know he has a child. You know, your grandfather now. Congratulations. Well, I'm gonna show you what's out here for the 27-year-old brothers. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Huh? Everybody wants to dogpile black men and our quote unquote daddy Kevin Samuels. This weird LGBTQ language. First of all, let's actually get into that. Diallo, Kevin Samuels didn't really address LGBTQ stuff. Ain't nobody talking about that. Kevin Samuels met the women where they were. They don't care. They don't want to know about men's struggles. I see how you went through that, and you spoke about how black men went from being pretty much property, and when they were emancipated, then they became boys. Women don't want to hear nothing. They don't care. It's loser talk to them. Once again, y'all are in the bubbles with the pro-black sisters with the unks on, huh? And they have their dreads wrapped up, and they may actually not be about the white man and the white peen chase. And so y'all think those black women represent the masses. They don't. Huh? Everybody's ignoring what black men are actually interacting with and running into when interacting with black women. Huh? You want to know what black men are interacting with when they, or better yet, what they're running into when they interact with black women, particularly in intimacy or attempting to date these women, have sex with these women, marry these women. You want to know what they're running into? This is what they're running into.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Protect, provide, and shut up. I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up. You think you could talk to that lady about anything about capitalism and the scourge of capitalism and how it plays on the minds of people, including women, including black women? You think she want to hear that? You think she cares? Huh? Don't worry, we ain't even gonna make it just a colorist thing. Okay, she was a darker skinned black woman. Don't worry, the lighter skinned black woman got something to say too.
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? If you are broke, and by the way, Diallo, later on in that same conversation, she defined broke as anyone who doesn't make double what she makes. Huh? This woman straight, Diallo, did you hear that? Let's play it one more again for you.
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
I will belittle you. You heard that? If you're broke and I choose to deal with you, I will. She said, I will belittle you. Huh? Diallo, that is the dating scene for black men. Once again, y'all are in y'all bubbles. You think you could talk to her about the cost of capitalism and how she views black men and how sexist it is, how she's viewing black men? You think she cares? That lady will nod and agree with you while she's in your face, and she'll come right back out here being a whole menace. Huh? That's the dating scene for black men, Diallo. You've been out the game for 2 decades. And yes, the pro-black sisters talk like this too. Huh? That's the real. It's not with the few black women that y'all interact with and y'all have these long relationships and marriages with, and y'all live a fulfilling life, and she doesn't see you as a walking wallet to pick up the slack of her $200,000+ student loan debt, and to put her in a $1 million home plus over $1 million home. She's not saying she wants a man that earns 6 figures because she can't count. She's saying that in actuality, she's looking for a millionaire. maybe you in FD and Foreign Man and Consciously, that's what y'all are dealing with. That's who y'all are married to. That's who y'all are in a relationship with. And congratulations. But that's not what the masses of black men are running into. Let's play this for you so you could see for the young brothers around your oldest son's age what they're running into. Maybe not your son in particular, but for the young men around his age. Once again, y'all, let's actually put this up again. Right? Actually, let's play this and then I'll play the next one. Let's play this because this sister looked like she was somewhere in her 20s. Let's play this so you can get an idea that it's not just the quote unquote cute chicks that's all done up with the long weave and the. Let's play this for you so you can see even some of the sisters, even some black women who you would think, okay, she doesn't fit a particular aesthetic. Maybe she'll talk a little different. Yeah, right. Let's play this for you and then I'll put up the fair use. Let's play this for you.
As a man, if you don't have house court job, don't look for a woman with house court job. And for the man that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security
She called us servants.
guard, and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Now, let's pause right here. Diallo, she called black men servants, bodyguards, assistants, and she told black men to bow down. Y'all, I said this previous stream. Diallo, y'all gotta get out of this bell hooks, color purple way of viewing black men. Waiting to excel way of viewing black men. Four color girls way of viewing black men. This is what young black men are running into while trying to court and date young black women. Quite frankly, this is what older black men are running into also. Oop, goddamn, see. Huh? And this is coming from a black woman who may not have the European aesthetic. As a matter of fact, you could tell she's heavier, right? Darker complected, heavier, right? And she's talking like that. So let's pause on the y'all looking for the Kim Kardashian type. So of course they're shallow and they're gonna talk to y'all like that. Before one of you brothers come out with that crap. Of course, when y'all going after the racially ambiguous and the light skinned black women and the preference and of course the preference talk like that. What about this? Huh? I want to be very clear, Diallo. As you're mocking Kevin Samuels, as you're giving black women the wink and the nod for dancing on his graves, as you're mocking black men, huh? All of that's cool. Yeah, Kevin Samuels is what led to the black community and black men with entertaining fascism and all this talk. That sounds nice. But when black men are out here interacting with black women of all age, quite frankly, from 18 to goddamn 80, this is what they're running into that all of you are too goddamn afraid or cowardly to address. Diallo, you're the one that goes the furthest out of all black men in that space. And even with you, you can see you're a bit uncomfortable. You kind of you make like these little one-liners, and then you'll back out. Okay, Mr. Z gets it. Fine. And I heard what you said about how when your wife is in class and she's teaching and she ask the people, how many of y'all consider yourself middle class, and all the hands go up, and then she'll start writing down on the board what it actually looks like to be middle class, and then the hands slowly start going down. I heard you. Huh? And guess what? Here's the other part. This is what the women refuse to actually admit until you watch Kevin Samuels. I said this a couple of streams ago. If you don't really watch Kevin Samuels, you don't really understand what's going on. It's a class. You want to talk about class? That's a class. Y'all keep on ignoring the women, though. Diallo, you want to know what's going on in the back of those women's mind? It's going to be a man that helps clean up that student loan debt. It's going to be a man that catapults them into the middle class, upper middle class, into being rich or wealthy. And if she already gets there by herself, she's going to meet a man, and they're going to do the power couple thing at the top. Huh? That's what they mean by equally yoked. That's what they mean by assortative mating. Similarly situated. You can mock Kevin Samuels all you want. You could give a wink and a nod to the black women that were twerking on his grave all you want. This is what your sons are coming into contact with when they're in the dating scene. This is what it is, Diallo. Huh? So fair use, right? I'm going to play a couple of clips, and we're going to walk through this, because Diallo is over here like defecating on black men and saying it's Kevin Samuels that led to this. No, your sons, maybe not your actual sons, Diallo, but black men, young black men, this is what they're interacting with. This is why I said patriarchy by feminist specifications. Yes, the women want their freedom, and they want their power, and they want their autonomy, and they want a man to subsidize it. Even FD, my first conversation with FD, even FD said the women want autonomy and security. Wait, simultaneously? How is that supposed to happen? You want to be autonomous and you want security at the same time? Translation, the men are supposed to be walking guard dogs and wallets. The heavy set sister, she said it. She lets you know what it is. Go ahead and deny it. Have fun talking to her about capitalism and the way she views these things, and it's a neoliberal lens. Have fun with that. Huh? Let's see how she responds to it. So let's play this first young black woman. Many of you remember this interview. Mr. Z gonna play the other one in a minute. That one is even more outrageous. But we're gonna play this once again. Fair use. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit the super chat, because this is getting struck today. Right, I'm gonna check them likes in a minute. I'm gonna start playing the elevator music, not elevator music. I keep on saying elevator music. Wrong thing. The dial-up sound. That's what I actually mean when I say elevator music. I don't know why I keep on saying elevator music. The dial-up sound for all of us millennials and boomers and Xers that remember that. So you Gen Z, y'all don't really know about the dial-up sound and how infuriating it was. And it was like scratching on a chalkboard. Mr. Z gonna get it. We gonna start playing it for y'all. Anyway, we're gonna play this. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And because we're presenting this argument back to Diallo, because Diallo want to act like he don't appreciate it, right? The dating scene that men in general and young men in particular are running into, and why so many watched Kevin Samuels. Y'all never addressed that the women kept on calling in, though. Would you think they were just glad from punishment? No, number one, they were advertising themselves. Number two, they were looking for Kevin to give them the cheat code to the address of the rich men. They were looking for Kevin to get them connected to the rich men, and they were looking to outwit Kevin. And that never happened. It rarely happened. That's what it was about. But y'all can keep on pretending like y'all don't get it. The women are looking for a lifestyle. Diallo, even the educated women. Diallo, even the women that could provide it for themselves. They still looking for a man to provide even more. Huh? And I'm stressing this. It's not a particular archetype of woman, because somewhere it's some black man. Well, it's the light skinned ones. It's the Model-esque ones. Wait, it's the ones in the Northeast. Wait, okay, it's the ones on the West Coast. It's the Hollywood ones. No, there's not a particular archetype. It's the ones with the silk press. It's the ones with the sew-ins. No. It's the ones that get the BBLs. No. It's the uneducated ones. No. It's the highly educated ones. No. It's all of them. Y'all are in your bubble, so y'all don't appreciate it, or because you're in your bubble, you get to pretend like you don't understand what's going on. So let's continue with this. Once again, fair use. And we'll listen to this young lady have a conversation with Kevin and expose the mindset. Here we go.
So
What's your disagreement?
my disagreement is just basically about the fact that black women shouldn't have to feel obligated to smile to black men. We're holding a lot of trauma. We're holding a lot of problems, mental health issues.
Hold on. How old are you?
24.
24, Diallo.
This one more time. I need you
Talking about trauma.
All black women pay attention. The world does not owe you understanding or me understanding. If you have all this trauma, go seek professional help because the rest of us do not have to suffer you.
Okay, it's easy to tell black women and black people in the black community to get help.
Whose responsibility is it to get the help they need?
But it's not available readily to our
That
community.
is bullshit.
With the wealth cap growing, how many people
Whose
can afford?
responsibility is it to get the mental health they need? Who?
It is ultimately the responsibility of us to get the mental health that we need. But I'm letting you know that we are very underserved.
You can't make this stuff up. So you say we're underserved. You got to tell me that the therapists that already exist are overloaded. We don't go get help, man. You just had a therapist on here before. I talked to psychiatrists, and first of all, understand who you're talking to. I know hundreds.
Fair use.
Anyway, what do black people tend to deal with? How do black women tend to deal with their mental health issues? With a licensed clinician or with Jesus?
That is what's pushed to us since
from
the age of you're little.
No, man.
That's
I asked who. Let's see. I asked who they see. We're not gonna play. I'm not gonna play the lily pad game. Did they go to a clinician or did they go to the church?
The church most often.
All right, and these are educated. Most of these women are educated, and they've heard about therapy. They make the choice not to go. No different than, I'm going to switch it up. No different than women understanding here that being 200 pounds and 5 foot tall is unhealthy. But yet 80% of our women are overweight and 80% of that is obese. They know the truth. They choose to do something else.
The narrative pushed to us most often is that a guy wants a woman with a big ass. He wants, a thick lady.
Accountability is kryptonite to modern women. Man, you say the traumas. If I accept them, then you got to do something about it. Because what about the traumas that the black man has to deal with? But we still have to get out here and be functioning people in society, contributing. You don't get to walk around and say, have a special victim status.
I'm not saying we should have a special victim status, but our circumstance is different. We are women.
You're 24 years old. Is your circumstance harder or easier than your grandmother and your great grandmother?
Exponentially easier. We have access to information we didn't have.
Exponentially easier, but you're handling it worse. Your grandmother, your great grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we are all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being...
Thank you.
You heard that, Diallo?
Clip it, slice it, put it on World Star. She said it, not me. Now that you're independent, you don't need to be with. There you go. There you go. And there you go, black man. There it is. She finally got one to say it. Your
Build
grandmother,
businesses with us.
your
Help us
grandmothers,
not
your grandmothers, and your grandmothers and your great grandmothers had more trauma and more stress and did it better. They have exponentially less and they're handling it
Mm-hmm.
worse. But it's because they're free and can do what the hell they want to. They don't need to be with you. So you don't need to feel any guilt for taking care of you, for putting yourself first and making your passion, your purpose, your priority. You don't need to feel guilty because this 24-year-old woman just said it. They have no, they don't feel any guilt about it. Thank you. So don't ask black men to care about your traumas
Uh-huh.
when you can't even smile at us.
And there you go, Diallo. Hmm? Diallo, did you not hear what she said? Diallo, see, this is the thing that you and FD and Foreign and all y'all keep on ignoring. Ramen, that's what y'all keep ignoring. That's what black men are actually interacting with. That's what black men are running into. This is what black men are running into, right? Huh? Actually, talking about that. Okay, let's see what we looking like. Let's see what we looking like. Oh, y'all wilding with the likes. Y'all wilding with the likes, y'all. 122 of you and 50 likes. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Y'all wilding with the likes. Huh? Diallo just pretty much said the black manosphere is a bunch of fascists. And we're a bunch of Samuelettes, or however they say it. He didn't. Those not the words he used, but y'all get it, huh? I really gotta use that goddamn dollop tone on y'all. I gotta get it. I keep on saying it. I keep on forgetting. Right? Y'all wild, huh? Y'all listening to Z, but y'all ain't liking this stream, and we're over here responding to Diallo, huh? Thank you, Rocky. 122 listeners, only 61 likes. That's half. Oh man, you hate watchers, man. Man, y'all rough. Y'all rough. But Diallo, did you not hear what the young lady said? Did you not hear what she said? 24 years old, Diallo. 24. You know how often the women on Kevin Samuels would back themselves into a corner? Shout out to Saint Cyr. Like he said, she cooked herself. This is why Mr. Z says, let them talk. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace. That's what men and young men in particular, Diallo, are running into while you are saying that Kevin was leading them or led them into fascism. These are the women that you want, young men. She's 24, so let's say 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28-year old. Let's say up to 30-year-olds. It's women like her. You want those young men to say, listen, capitalism. You said Kevin wouldn't walk them through. And you admitted, Kevin was good at pointing out your delusion. The ladies said, you could call me delusional all you want. This is what I want. This is what I demand. Now what, Diallo? Huh? Now what? That's what Kevin was running into night after night after night after night. Young, old, light skin, dark skin, heavy set, slim, West Coast, East Coast, huh? Down South, Midwest, Pacific Northwest, sometimes even foreign women, sometimes non-black women. That's what Kevin was running into night after night. They kept calling Diallo. They kept calling. If Kevin was alive, still they would have kept on calling Diallo. It didn't. By the way, it didn't matter if they were educated or not, highly educated or not, professional, blue collar, white collar. Diallo, they're looking for a man to provide a lifestyle, even if she could provide it for herself. Have fun telling her no capitalism, huh? At best, Diallo, what happens is they get tired and they get lonely and they get horny and they settle, grinding their teeth to dust. They settle for a man, have a kid or two, and then divorce him within 5 years. Go check the marriage numbers if you doubt me for black people. It's easy to mock the men. It's easy to wave your finger at the young men who listen to Kevin Samuels or who are subscribed to him. It's easy to do that until you remember that what they're interacting with and what they're dealing with on the dating scene is this. 24 years old. Huh? Mr. Donnie Mac says she was 24 3 years ago. She's likely 27 now, the oldest of Gen Z. Huh? And you're right about that line. I'm just framing it how they frame it. I'll throw them that bone. Fine, you're right. You are settling. Now what? And line says Z. I'm telling you again, they are not settling. They're getting who they qualify for. We appreciate that. But once again, the framing from Diallo, the framing from the women, is that is a bunch of sexist men that don't want to let go. And black men were never patriarchs. The black community was never a one-to-one of the white community. Okay, fine. But it's black men who are aspiring for this patriarchy. And we're just doing it in the void, in the vacuum. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? And so black women, and they keep on shoehorning LGBTQ. Who's talking about LGBTQ, folks? Right? But okay, fine. Black women are stuck in a community with a bunch of archaic wannabe white men, and Kevin Samuels was like the Pied Piper of this crap. I said it before. These people, when they mention Kevin, they act like Kevin was talking to himself. They act like Kevin was talking to himself. And by the way, Diallo's not the only one. Y'all remember what's her name? Amanda Seales said similar to what Diallo said. No, Kevin Samuels wouldn't walk the people through or walk the women through it. No, the women don't want to hear nothing. All that's excuses. It's loser talk. Huh? And that was a 24-year-old. Oh, we about to get younger and it's about to get a whole lot worse. But this one is about 2 times the length. Pause. So we're gonna play this. We're gonna get quiet. I'm gonna try to let it go all the way through, right? Because it's about 10 or so minutes long. It's less than 10 minutes long. But we're gonna try to go all the way through with this. And y'all listen in once again. Let's put this up. Because Mr. Z probably gets struck today, but we're gonna put this up. Fair use, fair use. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Once again, fair use, fair use. And once again, this is Mr. Z responding to Diallo because Kevin's no longer here with us. And Diallo speaking like this is not what the men are interacting with, and this is not what Kevin Samuels had to encounter night after night after night. Huh? Y'all refuse to critique the women's behavior. At most, y'all will do what you do, Diallo, which is a blink and you'll miss it comment. Yeah, the women want capitalism in the streets and they want revolutionary in the sheets, and that's it. That's cute. That's nice. Huh? And these are young women. Y'all don't want Z to go through the 30-plus-year-olds, the 35-plus-year-olds, the 40-plus-year-olds, and they sound pretty much the same. Once again, highly educated, not educated, blue collar, white collar, light skin, dark skin, heavy set, slim, East Coast, West Coast, down south, Midwest, Pacific Northwest, huh? Short, tall. It doesn't matter. Single, no children, 3 children from 3 different men. It didn't matter. They all called into Kevin looking for the same thing, Diallo. A paymaster. Huh? They all called in looking for the same thing. And y'all just refuse to address that part. It's insane. Huh? So the protect, provide, and shut up is real, and that's what y'all ignore. Y'all ignore that. Once
Oh.
again,
Miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
huh? That's a darker skinned black woman. What about the lighter skinned black
Said
woman?
if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? Uh-oh. Now, continue talking about how Kevin Samuels leads to fascism when that's the dating scene for black men. Huh? And if you would just talk to the people, it's capitalism. I said it before, y'all. It would be so much easier to move black men in particular than the women. Have fun telling the women that the myth of white womanhood is never going to be achievable, and watch they're already throwing a fit. They're already throwing a fit. Have fun telling them, "Hey, that myth of white womanhood, I don't know," and watch them go scorch earth. Huh? Watch them go scorch earth. Because they already feel that in their dying inside while trying to play stoic. Huh? But let me play this for y'all once again. Fair use, fair use. Just in case, because apparently Diallo doesn't really appreciate. Once again, I get it, brother. You found a good one. Y'all been married for 2 decades. Y'all raised two boys. Diallo stayed talking about his family. That is a family man. He speak positive about his sons, his wife. You could tell he was a loving, involved father, or he is because his youngest is still a teen. But he don't really appreciate. Nah, bro. We in right now in the 21st century. Oh, this dating scene concerning black men with black women is a goddamn landmine. But here you go.
Do you care how men feel about the fact that women coming here saying they don't want an average earning man? You muted yourself. Do you care? Do you care how average earning men feel when they hear women coming in saying they don't want average earning men?
Okay, well, nobody wants an average earning man.
Oh, but that's belittling average earning men.
But it's like,
Hey, look, Z can barely make it 30 seconds. Nobody wants an average earning man. Let's start right there, Diallo. And Diallo, you already know. You know the numbers like I know the numbers, Diallo. The majority of the black community is working poor, if not poor, working poor, working class, and lower middle class. That's 80% of the black community. More like 90, but fine, 80% of the black community. And she just told you nobody want no average man. Check that divorce rate, Diallo, for black people. Check that marriage rate for black people, Diallo. Uh-oh. Easy to shirk it off on men, right? It's easy to say to the men, it's black men's fault. The young women, see, they don't. The beauty of the young women is they psych themselves out. They box themselves out. They haven't fully developed the language to obscure their motives. That's all that this is exposing, by the way. It's not like the older women don't think like this too. The 35-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, the 50-year-olds, the 60-year-olds. Is that they've learned the language to obscure their motives and their issues. The younger women think they're smarter than they actually are, and then they run themselves right into the wall. They outsmart themselves. That's why Mr. Z says, let them talk. Diallo, if you think Mr. Z is handpicking, I did, but handpicking younger women, don't worry. I could bring you a bunch of women over the age of 40 that Kevin spoke to that pretty much said the same thing. It's going to be more difficult to parse through because they're better at obscuring their motives and their ideas. But once again, you let them talk long enough and it's the same thing. Huh? You let them talk long enough, and it still comes out to be
I
this.
miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Huh? So we'll continue with that. Once again, fair use, right? Fair use, fair use. Y'all see Zeke barely get 30 seconds. I'm going to try, y'all. I'm going to try, right? And we'll go through it. Here you
Do
go.
you care how men feel about the fact that women coming here saying they don't want an average earning man? You muted yourself. Do you care? Do you care how average earning men feel when they hear women coming in saying they don't want average earning men?
Okay, well, nobody wants an average earning man.
Oh, but that's belittling average earning men.
But it's like, how did you end up being an average earning man?
Because you are.
Listen, my
ma'am,
weight
hold on.
can
Don't
change.
overtalk me. Don't overtalk. I'm going to answer your question. Are you a
GC,
college
the SAS
student?
is over
I
9,000.
just graduated last Thursday.
So you understand a bell curve?
I do.
Then you understand the middle point, the median? The
Yes, I
median?
do.
That's average. How'd you become
Okay.
average? By being average.
Okay.
Average is not failing. It's average.
Listen to the SAS, yo.
So you don't mind belittling average earning men, but you think that men. So you don't have a problem with belittling average earning men, but
I'm
you got
not
an issue.
belittling
Oh,
any
who said
average man.
who wants an average earning man? Who wants an average earning
nobody
man?
wants that. No, listen to what I said. I said
No. Who the fuck you think you're talking to?
Listen to the SAS, yo.
You don't talk to me that way.
Rude as hell.
I do not know the French toast you think you're talking to. You're 30 years my junior.
23 years old.
Unmute yourself. Ma'am, let's be ultimately clear on something. One thing, above all else. I'm not your contemporary. You can vehemently disagree with me, but you cannot disrespect the fact that I am older than you.
that's true.
Look at her face, y'all.
You were saying about the average man and how that's not the same as a BMI or a woman's fitness.
Yes.
Explain.
What I mean is that weight fluctuates. I can change my weight, but they can't change their tax bracket, and that's not my fault.
Walking wallet, Diallo.
First, no. Actually,
You
it's
don't
not.
agree?
No. It's first of all, I talk about dress size, not weight.
Okay, dress size, it's still in the same correlation.
No, it's not. It is absolutely not. You can wear dress size 6 or dress size 4 and have a different body composition because muscle weighs more than fat. See, I've
Listen to
accounted
this.
for
You
that.
do know that.
Well, look here, smart
Listen to the
ass.
disrespect.
I'm the fucking image consultant, and I'm about to make a real bad day for you if you don't check that smart ass mouth talking to a grown damn man. This is the last warning, young lady, and it's gonna get real bad from here.
How's it gonna get bad?
How about that? How about that? See? How's it gonna get bad? And you wonder why you end up getting talked to crazy. Because that is what goes on. I'm a push. And you wonder why so many women end up getting abused and heading upside. That's what they got to deal with.
This is what you're ignoring, Diallo.
That's it.
Uh-oh.
So let's have fun, shall we?
This is what you're ignoring, Diallo. This is what you're ignoring, FD. This is what you're ignoring, foreign man. This is what you're ignoring consciously.
Since
23 sounding like this.
Seems like you chose violence, let's give you violence. She chose violence. Let's do it. You chose violence. No. You can't overtalk me. Since you chose violence.
You idiot woman. Idiot woman.
Since you chose violence, let's choose violence. Go ahead and ask your question.
I like to hear a woman make a lot of sound.
I was watching one of your shows the other day. Okay, she was 5'4". She weighed about 186 pounds. And you said because of her BMI, or she weighed more than the average guy her height, that she, and like the guy was also making $40,000 an hour or $40,000
Shorten
a
your
year.
question, ma'am. How can I tell a woman that she weighs what?
How can you tell a woman that she weighs 186 pounds and she's 5'4" that she can't get the type of man that she wants because she doesn't?
That's
fit
not what I
5
said.
pounds?
No. If you're gonna say, I said you weigh more than a man at your height, and the kind of men that she wants don't want women who are her size. How can I tell her that? Because I deal with the kind of men she wants, and they told me they don't want women her size. Do you not? You ladies don't seem to not care about. Do you look at my community tab? Do you look at what any of the men say? You ladies all come in here with your own facts of what you believe, and you dismiss what the men have been saying for the longest. Show me where you see. Possible? Show me, and that's the problem. You ladies all deal in because women who are, like the women in question, are so unwilling to get in the gym and exercise. You are on what's possible. Well, guess what, ma'am? If that's the case, why don't you take all of your money and go to Las Vegas or buy a lottery ticket and see if you can win? Because it's possible you could take all your money and win. But that's not sound financial planning, is it?
All right. Now, do you agree that that's a social?
Is it sound financial planning? You don't just skip past my question. Is it sound financial planning to do
financial planning? But that's what you're saying, that why don't you just go get a ticket to Las Vegas and win the lottery, which could be possible, but it doesn't sound fit or sound financial planning. But now my next question is, everything you've just based off of everything you've just stated, do you agree that that is the social norm? Like you say, these men are looking for women.
What the social norm is, ma'am, is men want women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, no children. And the fact of the matter is, more women today, especially in our community, 80% of women are overweight. 80% of that number is obese. Like it or not, ma'am, men get to pick. And the men have said what they want for the longest. The better question is, instead of worrying about what I say about women, are you winning?
I'm upcoming.
You're upcoming what?
I'm upcoming to this fact where I'm gonna be.
No. Do you want to be married?
Yes, I do want to be married, of course.
Do you want children one day?
Yes, I do want children.
Are you in a relationship?
I am currently talking to someone. Not in a relationship yet, but I'm actively talking.
And what does he want?
The same things that I want.
What does that mean?
He 100% agrees with everything you agree with, which is where.
That's right. And that's the problem. He agrees with what I agree with, and he's going to put a standard on your ass, and you're going to have to do something about it. And here's the thing. The kind of men that agree with what I agree with tend to make something out of themselves. And that's really the problem, that you have to live with a standard. Because if you're talking to somebody who believes what I believe, then how can you even talk to him? Because he's going to be something. Because he's going to be somebody.
We have thought-provoking conversations.
Because he's going to be somebody.
So I'm not going to be somebody?
You're going to be his woman at best.
Absolutely not.
Young man, run. Run, young man, run. Feminist, womanist alert. Ma'am, do yourself. But see, here's the thing. Be you, do you.
What is wrong with being a feminist?
Nothing if you don't mind.
Listen to how she sounds, Diallo.
Excuse me?
There's no excuse for you, ma'am. I've tried my best to make one. Now, if you want to play these games with me, I will take the gloves completely off and go there. Do you really want to go there?
I just want to understand how you think, because the way you're thinking,
the way I think about
you're trying to dictate.
You don't have to understand. I explain. And another thing, at 22 years old, why do you think you have the keys to life?
Sorry, not 23, 22 years old.
I don't have the keys to life, but there's just some stuff I just don't agree with. Like,
good. Don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. Don't agree. That doesn't matter whether you agree or don't disagree. The point is, the men get to pick what they want from a woman. What is your father? Are your father and mother married?
My father's deceased.
Sorry to hear that. But lady, if you walk around with this disagreeable attitude, you'll be good to have relations with. But as far as trying to build a family and make something with a woman that needs to be cooperative, good luck.
I can be cooperative. It's just
of course you can. But tell me a country where womanist policies have led it into a first world country and a first world situation and sustained it.
Listen, this is not about.
You answered the question. Don't tell me listen shit. See, you guys need to understand something. This woman right here is the poster child for what's wrong with the black community.
And there you go. Once again, fair use, right? And there you go. How did Mr. Z not have his garage up earlier? I don't know, right? And there you go. Now what? You heard the sass, Diallo. You heard the disrespect. You heard the dismissive nature. All of that. And young men around your oldest son's age are supposed to do what with that? Young black men. Huh? You want to talk to her about capitalism and neoliberalism? Huh? She wants what she wants, and she wants to be an asshole about it. That's why I said what I said. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. Mr. Z didn't just pull that out of his ass. That's what the women are demanding. That's what the liberation of women, including black women, that's what it has resulted to. The women still want, they want their freedom. They want their autonomy, right? They just want somebody to subsidize it. They want a man to subsidize it at the highest level. They want all the nice things. They want a man to pay for it, even if she can afford it herself. At 22 years old, listen to how she sounds, Diallo. At 22. Diallo, listen to the disrespect. Listen to the sass. Listen to the comments. The backhanded compliment. Oh, you know that. She's speaking to a 50-some-odd-year-old man that way, Diallo, and a 20-some-odd-year-old young man around your oldest son age. What is he supposed to do with a woman like this? If she talks to a 50-some-odd-year-old man who could be her father that way. Huh? Zoomer Doomer says, as a 24-year-old, this is the attitude we got to deal with. Huh? So while you're mocking Kevin Samuels, Diallo, while you're mocking the men, the young men that gravitate to his content, you want to know why, Diallo? Because y'all are not talking to them about their day-to-day. Yes, we could. Look, Diallo, Mr. Z's on the left too. I know. No, you're not. I know. Huh? Diallo, we can have conversations with the brothers all day, every day, about the administrative state, about bureaucracies, about the shredding of the welfare state and what that's actually going to mean for black people, about the fact, as you said, how much of black people actually pay into the taxes anyway. I heard you, Diallo. I listened. I heard you. We can have these lofty conversations with black men all day, every day. But the second they get off the internet and they got to deal with day-to-day interactions with black girls and women, this is what they're running into. This is what the 20-some-odd-year-olds are running into, the 30-some-odd-year-olds, the 40-some-odd-year-olds, the 50-some-odd-year-olds. And y'all heard Vivica A. Fox, even the 60-year-olds. This is what they're running into. It's not just the celebrity black women. It's not just the quote unquote upper echelon, highly educated, snooty black women. Huh? That's what people are running in. That's what the young men are running into, Diallo. While you dance on Kevin Samuels' grave. Or, okay, fine, Diallo didn't dance on Kevin Samuels' grave. While you give a wink and a nod to the women that actually did dance on his grave. While you say it's Kevin that leads to what, a fascist leaning from black men? Huh? This is what young black men are running into. This is what middle-aged black men are running into. This is what even older black men are running into. This is what they're running into. Women that sound like this. And she doesn't have to be a quote-unquote preference, Diallo. She don't got to be cute, thin, and light-skinned. Once again.
As a man, if you don't have house court job, don't look for a woman with house court job. And for the man that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three and they don't have all three, we can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Diallo, that's the dating scene. That's the dating scene, Diallo. I put money that young lady wasn't even the age of 30, Diallo. That's the dating scene. Huh? That's what the young men are running into. She's not light-skinned. She's not slim. She don't have brown or green eyes. She don't have looser hair. Huh? She's not a quote-unquote preference. So even the black men that say, you know what, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna try to compete for the quote unquote preference. I'm not gonna be quote unquote shallow. I'm not gonna go for the women with the video vixen look and the BBLs. Huh? I know my station, I know my level. This is what they're running into. Now what? Huh? Now what? It's easy to mock the men. It's easy. Huh? That's easy. And that's why the young men that got it, they're responding this way. Huh? Because the young women and the older women all sound like.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Diallo, that's the real. Man, listening to Diallo speak and how he spoke about Kevin and I guess black men who are subscribed to Kevin as his channel continues. He's been dead for over 2 years. So and his channel continues to grow. Kevin's gonna hit 2 million subscribers soon enough. Sooner rather than later. Diallo, don't discount what that is. It's not just, particularly for black men, it's not just black men want to get women in their place. Huh? I know that's what y'all think. Y'all just want to get women in their place. Y'all just want to put women in their place. No, did you hear what this lady just said? No, it's men that need to know their place. Black men in particular need to know their place. Diallo, do you understand? I don't have to scour the internet to find these. Y'all could say, Z, your algorithm is all type of effed up. That's why. Okay, granted, fine. Explain that marriage rate for the black community. Ooh, goddamn. Explain that divorce rate for the black community. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Explain mass media before social media. The waiting to excels. Huh? The color purples, the 4-color girls, the no scrubs. Huh? Can you pay my bills of the world? He wasn't man enough for me. Just be a man about it. Explain that, Diallo. All that existed before high-speed internet. Before you had the world at your fingertips on a cell phone. Huh? Uh-oh. The concepts of he's just a sperm donor, excuse me. He's just a sperm donor. Goddamn, Z, could you get it out? All that existed before high-speed internet. Diallo, this is the ladies. This is black women. Diallo, this is black women. The ladies sound. You want to know how black women sound? Here you go.
When the nerd came up to the girl in high school, she was like, no, I don't want you.
And then once she became a baby mama, he was a CEO executive and all that. And she like, hey, you remember me? He said, no, I don't want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Let me tell you something. We were victims then.
Huh? Diallo, did you hear her? She sounded like the black men were obligated now. Grow up, get over it. She said respectfully and then went to low-key mocking them, high-key mocking those brothers. Okay, so now, and Diallo, you actually made mention of it. Yes, the baby mamas. Imagine this, Diallo. Women like Rosie Rosario, although she is married, they feel like, okay, look, I went to therapy. Now can I have the six-figure man that I overlooked 10 and 15 years ago? 20 years ago? Now can I have him? I mean, I know I have 3 kids from 3 different guys, but now can I have the six-figure man? I'm mature now. Huh? Only a sexist, misogynistic pig, only a colorist, featurist pig wouldn't accept me now. Huh? I see the error in my ways now. Now marry me and make me a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids that are not from you. Huh? With 2 kids that are not from you. And I'm probably still going to divorce you within 10 years anyway. Yeah, that's it. No, Diallo. Y'all can mock them brothers all you want. You can make fun of them all you want. It could be funny. It could be funny. You could dance on Captain Samuel's grave, or you could give a wink and a nod to the women that are dancing on Samuel's grave. These men are not budging. These young men are not budging because they're running into women that sound like this. Diallo, you have been married for 2 decades. Congratulations. That is something to envy, but that's not what's going on for the masses of us. Huh? The masses of us are running into women like the women I played on this stream so far. That's what the masses of us are running into. Huh? And what are black men supposed to do with this? $20-some-odd-year-olds, 30-some-odd-year-olds, 40-some-odd-year-olds, 50-some-odd-year-olds sounding like this, 60-year-olds sounding like this. Huh? Diallo, you want to know what ends up happening when you actually, if you could actually get black women, let's go with it. You tell black women, hey, the world hasn't been fair and kind to black men. You have a very capitalist bent. You're looking at black men through a neoliberal lens. That's not fair. Huh? You want to know what ends up happening then? Let's let the white guys tell you what happens.
I'm speaking on the behalf of all white dudes that date black girls. Can y'all stop fucking calling us massa? Like, what the fuck do I... You know what you're doing. You know, like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? And y'all be thinking it's funny as shit. You be laughing your ass off, having the time of your life. Girl, fuck you.
I want black women to have a lot more self-respect than they do now. Kind of just like worshiping white guys. Worshiping white guys. Worshiping white guys.
This is sad. It's getting sad now. It's getting real sad now. It's getting real sad now.
Uh-oh. It's like y'all living in the world and y'all like, and understand, I'm speaking of like educated people. Y'all realize Mr. Z stayed like, I'm creating these streams and I'm speaking to educated people. Huh? I'm speaking to educated people. And this is how they sound. They just can't critique the women's behavior. At best, you get blinking, you'll miss it comments. At best. Just keep on going in on the men. The men want women, Diallo. The men want to have sex with women. The men want to be coupled up with women. But this is how the women sound, and y'all just refuse to say anything about it. Diallo, once again, you go the furthest with it, and you still ain't really saying much. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. You go the furthest, huh? Wow. That so behind black men's back are the women sounding like that, huh? Let you hear what a white comedian has to say about it.
She had a weird conversation with me, like 2 months into us dating. It made me think that she had some like different motives to dating me. Made me uncomfortable. She was like, Jeff, I'm happy to finally be with a white man. Black dudes, you can't trust them. They're just gonna cheat on you. They ain't. You know how uncomfortable you feel right now? Imagine how I felt. This is in real life for me. This is just a story for you. I felt uncomfortable as shit. I didn't know what to do. So I talked to a black friend of mine. His name's Josh. I was like, Josh, told him the whole story. He's like, Jeff, I'll tell you what you got to do, but you might not like it. I'm like, all right, let me have it. He's like, Jeff, for the culture, you got to cheat on that. That's what...
Huh? And once again, Diallo, that the white guy acting this out is not the comedian, but the comedian is a white guy, and he's not married, but he does have a kid, if I'm not mistaken, a daughter from a black woman. Apparently, they're still together. Last time I checked. But when he was on the dating scene, that's what the white guy was running into. Why y'all throw black men under the bus? Why you do a wink and a nod to black women twerking on Kevin Samuel's grave? Y'all could kiss this whole black community project goodbye. Y'all could go ahead and if we gonna keep on over indexing on black men and their supposed misbehavior and what they're subscribed to and the things they believe and all of it is messed up and it's sexist and it's patriarchal and if y'all gonna keep on doing that and doubling and tripling and quadrupling and quintupling down on it, and the women, y'all do what now? There, I get it. Sexist black man, sexist, wanna be patriarch, sexist, bad man. Sorry, black men aren't men. Bad boy. So we just gonna keep on doing that for eternity. Okay, yeah, about that. Huh? Y'all can go ahead and kiss it goodbye then. The only people that's gonna really be having a black anything are, I guess, people like you and your wife and your son, at least your oldest son, and that's it. Huh? So that's it. Wow. Huh? I had to present this because, like I said, I saw what Diallo was going to speak about. I got to listen to maybe the first 15 or 20 minutes last night. I had things to do, but then I started it over this morning and I listened in, and typical, right? It's the same thing Amanda Seales said, which is essentially Kevin wouldn't challenge these people and have them view this differently. They don't care. The women don't care, Diallo. They want what they want. They want a hyper provider that will protect, provide, and shut up. What does shut up mean? Don't assert any of the power that would come with your resources. In yesteryear, men had generally speaking, right? We know in the black community it was a bit different, but fine. Men had the power and the money, and the money and the power allowed for them to have a certain type of relationship with their women. The women still want that money and the power. They just don't want you to be able to exert any of that power over them. Once again, protect, provide, and shut up. That's what the shut up means. And anything short of the shut up, you are a sexist monster who is using your money to oppress women. You're supposed to provide and shut up. I want an egalitarian relationship. I want a relationship of equals where he provides the majority, if not all. Huh? That's what the ladies are actually saying, Diallo. Diallo, I don't have to scout to find these. The women are screaming it and y'all are ignoring it, and y'all want the men to do what with that? Huh? Y'all want the men to do what? Huh? So, once again, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. He's not here to defend himself. I'm not saying that Diallo went at his neck too tough, but once again, this idea that the Kevin Samuels of the world are leading black men into some type of fascism without appreciating, no, actually, your sons who y'all have raised to view women a certain way and to view relationships a certain way and to view intimacy a certain way, they come out here as young adults and they get run right into the goddamn buzzsaw of the women actually want that, but then they want more than that. They want providers and protectors that shut the hell up. The hypocrisy of it all. No? They want everything, Diallo. That's what y'all don't appreciate. And Saint Cyr says, Togsy, there is no black community when the framing is always the black men being at fault for everything. No, look, whether it's Diallo, whether it's FD, whether it's Dr. Umar, and these people don't agree on everything. As a matter of fact, there's much that they disagree with. At the end of the day, it's always black men's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. That's why BGS plays it. It's always Jermaine's fault. And the fascinating thing is, even when we could put the women talking in their face and say, look at what she's saying. Look at what she's saying. It doesn't matter what y'all talking about. She says she wants to go back to a day, or she misses the days when men would protect, provide, and shut up. What do you have to say about that? You could put it in their face. Look, this young lady is saying, if she earns more than you, she will belittle you. The problem is the men are insecure. Huh? The problem is the men they don't know how to deal with women's newfound power and newfound access and women being educated, and the men are insecure, they're intimidated. And then you'll play for them what the ladies are saying, and it's mum's the word. We're insecure, right? But she sounds like this.
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? She sounds like that. So it's always Jermaine's fault, even when we show them that. Black men, y'all are romanticizing the past, and black men didn't have it like that anyway. Huh? Y'all are romanticizing the past. Y'all sound like these white folks romanticizing the past. Y'all don't know y'all history. Y'all just want to oppress women. Y'all look, y'all don't get to be white men, so y'all want to be a part of oppression too. Y'all want to oppress a more marginalized group. Yeah, when we let the ladies talk, well.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Huh? And we have the misreading of history, right? Yeah, that's it. Huh? Uh-oh. Huh? We have the misreading of history. We're the sexist monsters. We're the ones who just want to make money just to oppress women. And when the women talk, this is how they talk.
If you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
you're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. Okay. You can go for 20.
Huh? Yeah, it's the men that are insecure about their money and their status and their acts. Black men, right? Black men want to be white men, right? Black men want to be white men. Black men want to oppress black women. Huh? Black men think that they could buy women if they get money. And let's play it one more again. What did she say?
If you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
you're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. Okay. You can go for 22.
Huh? And notice the women in the back, the other women are clapping it up for her. You know I agree with you. Huh? What happened? Let's play this again. Excuse the brother's commentary. I didn't actually realize that he was commenting or when I download this. So excuse his commentary. Mr. Z is not about calling people trash and whatnot, even when they do it themselves. This is just not a debate tactic I utilize or use. So excuse what he's saying. Mr. Z doesn't endorse this particularly. So, but I want y'all to hear what the woman is saying here, and y'all listen in.
And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year.
I can tell you lack education in the pay of city workers, because all of the above can make over 100K. But go on.
Hey, it's pathetic. It's sad, all right? I don't want my husband coming home smelling like trash. Yes, we do need people to take the trash out.
Like yourself, the trash. The difference is he could shower that smell off. But when you are trash, there's no remedy for that. But go on.
You guys need to go get some real careers, okay?
I knew it. Go on.
Become an entrepreneur or something, all right? Own a Lamborghini or something like.
This video was ratioed. More comments, way more comments than likes. The idea that people post this kind of stuff because their other content isn't working is disturbing.
You driving around here in a Toyota and thinking that you're a high value man because you work for the post office. You're absolutely wrong. Stop it. All right. You're low value. All right. And if you want a high value woman like me, you need to switch your career path.
These men that you claim are low value, these are the men that are keeping the world moving. Those construction workers, they built that club that you dancing in. The garbage men, sanitation, they picking up the trash from the club that you dancing in. The police are gonna be the first people you call if a man touches you in that club that you dancing in inappropriately. And God forbid that club is burning down. Who you think is gonna come to save you? I'll wait. Or maybe they shouldn't come because they low value. I wouldn't be upset if these quote-unquote low-value firemen saw you in desperate need, walked up to you, got on his knees and whispered to you, call one of your high-valued Lamborghini owners to come save you. Disrespectfully, of course. No.
I respect the brother's laugh, though. That laugh at the end, cherry on the cake. I got to give it to him for the laugh, though. Right? Man. Diallo, that's what women are saying. That's what they're saying. It's not just the out there women with the long bust down weave and right. That's not just what it is. It's frightening that we have to say it, right? Huh? So, like I said, excuse me, presented this to y'all because Diallo was on one last night, and essentially trying to link Kevin to fascism. There are things that I disagree with Kevin on. First of all, he's no longer here for me to debate him on it. You know, that's number one. Number two, to go to the extreme and say that essentially Kevin is leading, and this is where you go with it, unless Mr. Z is reading this wrong. You know, I can't tell you what it is. I could tell you what it looked like, though. Shout out to Jeff Brown. Kevin was leading black men into, excuse me, y'all, had to sneeze. Kevin is leading black men into like Coonville, to not see black women as their allies, right? To not see black women as someone that they can build with and work with. Don't worry, Mr. Z gonna play it one more time for y'all. right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Yeah, he did. And Saint Cyr says, Z, he basically called him a Nazi, right? Don't worry, we're going to get to it. To essentially call Kevin Samuels and the people, the black men who are subscribed to him, essentially Nazis and Nazi sympathizers, right? And by the way, please, y'all, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, because I'm going to play this. And this is Kevin Samuels kind of going into what he was on, but this is from Vlad, so let's see if we get struck. But it's not the video. This is he trying to be a little slick with it. We'll see. It's only 5 minutes long. I already put up the fair use earlier, but we'll do it one more again. Let's see if Vlad strikes us. He probably will. So y'all go ahead and like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right? So maybe if Vlad strikes us, we still can make a couple of pennies on AdSense, but we'll see. We'll see. Right? So once again, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. And we'll play this. And this is Kevin Samuels kind of explaining his thing, I guess, on Vlad some years ago. And here y'all go.
Right. I mean, when I look at most successful marriages, there's usually a higher calling in that marriage. It's not about who's sleeping with whom.
The family crest.
You know, sometimes the guy's messing around, sometimes the girl's messing around.
Yes.
And sometimes they both know about it.
Yes.
But there's children at stake. There is a business at stake. There is legacy at stake. So they put aside whatever temporary things go on and stay together because there's a bigger picture here.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't quite get that. And I think a lot of people go into marriage saying, okay, I'm attracted to this person right now. I'm sexually attracted. I like sleeping with the person. But at some point, that's probably going to fade away.
Yes.
And then what do you have? And if the relationship is just based on sex, it's just not going to last. Not forever.
Nope.
You'll have a good run. But at some point, you know, you're left with a person. And I think what also happens is, in the same way that women are quote unquote groupies of certain types of men, men are groupies for certain types of women.
Okay.
So men will pursue, how I said earlier, the hot girl. You know,
Vlad
Chloe
over here
Harvey
making
is the
excuses
hot girl right now. Chloe Bailey is one of the hot girls right now. You love the idea of that person. You see them on Instagram. There's a lot of Photoshop and filters that go on with that. That's not really how the person looks.
Nope.
That's not really how their body or face really looks. You don't really know what their personality is like. You don't know what their habits are like. So you want to, you know, and I'm not just talking about the big, you know, whoever that is in your life. Maybe it's the local hot girl in your high school or your college or whatever. You get obsessed and you become a groupie of this person. And then when you finally deal with that person, you realize I was just in love with the idea.
Right.
You know, as opposed to the reality of it. Like, for example, I think that's what happened with Kim and Kanye. I think Kanye loved the idea of having the hottest chick, you know, out there.
I hope this is the right
desirable
clip. I found it. I think I downloaded the wrong clip.
Period. You know, who I think, you know, and Kim, I think really changed the way we look at beauty. Before Kim, a voluptuous white girl wasn't really celebrated like that.
Right.
Not really, not all across the board.
Well,
you know,
I would put it this, one, I wouldn't be surprised if they get back together. Put a pause there because they have so much stuff outside of what they already have. And when you have, from what I understand, Kanye is a bit of a complex personality.
Oh, yeah.
So if she's able to deal with him, you know, I get to talk to more women who have been on the side of that 8, 9, or 10, even the adjustable 6 or higher, who have had access to all these men. And they're saying, I wish I'd have stayed with the guy I met earlier. And what we're ultimately doing is we have these conversations about, I have that conversation about sex. All right, what are you willing to give up if attraction wasn't there? And see, the conversations we tend to have are conversations that are about longevity, not just the short-term stuff. And because those things aren't being talked about a lot, it makes us a viral moment, some interesting conversations. But I think what we're doing more than anything else is getting the conversation started between men and women. And the refreshing thing about my show is it is obvious that men want women. They want to be married. And it's obvious that many women are saying, I want to have a relationship. We just don't know how. We've had the last 40, 50 years tout the individual, tout do what you want, live your best life, and that kind of stuff. And see, how do we correct this to get the outcomes you possibly want if you want something different? And that's what it really comes down to. I talk to a lot of women. What do you want? I don't judge what it is you want. I don't judge any of that. But
message Diallo.
And as much as we talk about high value men, I also have a very thing that I really dislike is when women come onto my show and crap on average guys. That happens every week. And that's when I tend to get upset, because I'm sitting here being told, you have to say it this way or that way, or you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. But then you have women who are looking at men who are firefighters, policemen, military, computer programming, science, engineering, technology, and math. They're calling them lame, corny, goofy, dusty, this, that. Average guys get crapped on, and I'm like, no, wait a minute. Everybody can't be this high value man. There are only so many of these guys. What about the rest of them? And when we can make average guys cool and make average looking women who are average looking or cute women who are cute women not feel like they're losing something or settling for getting with people who are around the same level, then we got a little progress.
So I did actually get the right clip. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat because y'all know about Vlad. I'm just saying. Right? So I actually did get the right clip. Perfect. That's if Diallo's still listening. We're an hour and 45 minutes in. He probably isn't. That is what Kevin Samuels was doing. Right? That's it. Right? Exactly, Mr. Donnie Mac. Fair use, right? Fair use, right? That is Kevin Samuels defending himself. And notice, Kevin said this 3-ish years ago. And what did that lady say about policemen and firefighters? Huh? Now what? Huh? And I'm gonna play it for you in a minute, Trail. I see the super chat. Let's do this. Mr. Z did not read. Talking about super chats. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. But Mr. Z did not read his super chats up until now. And here we go. God Cognito says, us black men need to stop gassing up these women. Agreed. For the black men that do engage in that, shout out to the Black Manosphere. We don't necessarily do that over here like that, but shout out to the Black Manosphere. Yeah, no, black men are raised in this crap, right? And then, as G has said to us multiple times, when black men explain to their elders the situation with their own mothers, their girl siblings, their aunts and grandmothers, the women in the community, when young black men in particular speak to older black men about what's going on, they get insulted, or they get told to go back home, or they get told, you're sexist, or it's your way of viewing things, something's wrong with you, right? That's what they're told. And you saw Diallo kind of do that here. Huh? And once again, Guy Cognito, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, right? You kind of saw that. And that's why I'm covering this. Kevin isn't here to defend himself. And Diallo did a lot here. Right? It's one thing to mock the men about their desires. It's one thing to kind of give a wink and a nod to the women that were dancing on Kevin Samuels' grave. But once again, to just completely dismiss what's going on here and why these men are responding the way they do, and to just chalk it off to, the Kevin Samuels was slow walking these men into fascism, into aligning with Trump. Mr. Z, listen to Kevin Samuels. I did not vote for Donald Trump. I did not vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I did not vote for Donald Trump in this 2024 election. Right? You just dismissed everything and essentially boil these men down to children. Right? Following their quote unquote zaddy. Well, daddy, I guess, because zaddy is for the white guys. Right? Huh? And Mr. Donnie Max says, and thank you for the super chat. And once again, thank you for the super chat, God Incognito. Mr. Donnie Max says, and there, as the bard tells us, lies the rub. As the bard tells us lies the rub, William Shakespeare. And there lies the rub. Once again, patriarchy by feminist specifications. How do we reconcile this? There is no reconciling it. The women aren't going to come off of it. And so the Diallos of the world, the FDs of the world, they're going to just continue to wave their finger at black men, whether that's the who they see as the leaders of these type of spaces. So the BGSs and the Kevin Samuels and whoever, Mr. Z, I guess, but my channel's too damn small. Or those of you that are subscribed to us and listen to us, they're just going to wave their finger at y'all and us and say we're the issue and we're the problem here, when in reality they're not addressing the whole thing. Yes, capitalism, but capitalism has also played on the minds of the women. Neoliberalism has played on the minds of the women, and they're not letting it go. You could speak to them as much as humanly possible that the majority of men, regardless of race, are not going to be these ultra mega hyper providers, particularly for black men. You could speak to them ad nauseum. It's not like they don't know, they don't care. You could speak to them ad nauseum about the obstacles for black men, and that you can't just make black men white men but chocolate dipped. You could speak to them ad nauseum about that. They don't care, right? Let's be very clear. Huh? And once again, Mr. Donnie Mac, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Mr. Donnie Mac and Chef Butter Biscuit says, if they want to be ambiguous with their motives, then we will be obvious to their we will be oblivious. Let's read that again. If they want to be ambiguous with their motives, then we will be oblivious to their struggles, aka let it rot. And that's what it is. It's the framing is always that black men threw the first figurative, if not literal, punch when it comes to women. Like they won't even acknowledge that this is get back. But if they did acknowledge that it's get back, then they'll say, well, it's as a response to all the sexist men going back centuries and millennia. What does this have to do with black men in the American context? Shrugs. Right? So there's always this kind of justification for the women's behavior in their language. And so, yes, as Chef Butter Biscuit says, if the women want to be ambiguous with their language, where the clips I played, they're clearly not ambiguous, right? If the women want to be ambiguous, as Chef Butter Biscuit says, then the men will be oblivious to the struggles of women. Have fun trying to shame these men into picking up these women as this economic landscape worsens for your average man and obviously your average woman, namely your average black woman, right? And once again, Chef Butter Biscuits, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. And Too Watchful says, Z gonna get demonetized fun. Rest well, Saint Kevin. Right. And thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, I'm probably gonna get demonetized for this one. Hopefully not my whole channel, but this video, yeah, it's because I use the voiceover from Vlad, and I almost made it through. Man, we got way over an hour and a half before I played it, but still, You know how these things go. It's we'll see. We'll see how that goes, right? We'll see how that goes. But more than likely, yeah, and it's just the cost of doing business. And I would much rather y'all hear Kevin defend himself post death, right? Um, I would much rather y'all hear Kevin defend himself, even though he's been gone for a couple years now, than just let Diallo, who I agree with on so much, just kind of just call Kevin a fascist, or at least that Kevin led to a type of fascist understanding of things concerning black men, or at least the black men that would engage with his content and his material. I had to kind of come to Kevin's aid here because he's not here to do it himself, right? And so yeah, rest well, Kevin, rest well, right? And once again, thank you for the super chat, to Watchful. Thank you for the super chat, right? And Zoomer Doomer says, and thank you for the super chat. Gen Z, a board gang out here getting money, right? Look, it like I had to play the clips from the younger women so that we could emphasize this, right? And shout out to you, Zoomer Doomer, because Diallo's kids they're not millennials. If I'm not mistaken, I think his oldest is still in his early 20s. And his younger son is in his teens, if I'm not mistaken. You could tell Diallo is a loving father. He's an engaged father. You could tell that. The way he speak about his sons, the way he speak about his wife. Maybe Diallo think that there's some type of thing up with the rest of us. But Diallo, this is what these young men are running into. I'm going to play some of the clips, not the 10-minute long one. That was way too long. But I'm going to play some of the clips, again, before we end out, so that once again, we can end out showing that this is what the men writ large, but the young men in particular are running into. And if y'all want, I'll do a stream about what the brothers that are 40 plus are running into, or maybe 45 plus are running into, and we'll bring up more clips from Kevin Samuels, or maybe I'm not sure so about Kendra G, but she doesn't look like she strikes single by choices when they cover some of her stuff. So maybe we'll pull some stuff from Kendra G, but she asked the women their ages also. So yeah, Diallo, this is what it is. Diallo, you have a good one, especially you 2 decades into marriage. That is not what your average black man is running into in the dating scene, and including obviously the men that hope to be married one day. That's not what they're running into. And even for the ones not married, they're divorced within 5 to 10 years, mainly 5 years. Once again, your average black marriage lasts about 5 years. We already know that women file for somewhere between 70-80% of divorces. Diallo, those are the numbers. That's what it is, Diallo. Those are the numbers.
2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. Quick maths.
Huh? Mr. Z got to say it too now. Check the statistics. Those are the numbers, Diallo.
Check the statistics.
Huh? So, shout out to you, Zoomer Doomer, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And you get one of these. If Mr. Z can find it, that will be great. And here you go. Oh, wrong one. This is the one. Right? And Trell says, for the culture. I'm going to play it for you in a minute, Trell. I'm going to play it for you right. As a matter of fact, right now. But give me a second. And Trell says, for the culture, but you, sir, get one of these. Right? It's so funny. Right? You get one of these, and we'll play it again. Here you go. Where is it? I had it a minute ago. Oh, yeah. Forgot I brought it back up this way. And for the culture, here you go.
She had a weird conversation with me, like 2 months into us dating. It made me think that she had some like different motives to dating me. Made me uncomfortable. She was like, Jeff, I'm happy to finally be with a white man. Black dudes, you can't trust them. They're just gonna cheat on you. They ain't. You know how uncomfortable you feel right now? Imagine how I felt. This is in real life for me. This is just a story for you. I felt uncomfortable as shit. I didn't know what to do. So I talked to a black friend of mine. His name's Josh. I was like, Josh, told him the whole story. He's like, Jeff, I'll tell you what you got to do, but you might not like it. I'm like, all right, let me have it. He's like, Jeff, for the culture, you got to cheat on that. That's what...
Yep. Huh? Shout out to you, Trill. Yep. Yep. Right. Man, that's what they sound like behind our back. Oftentimes, Diallo, when they're dating these non-black men, and there's a number of clips where non-black men are saying it. Right. And once again, Trill, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And L's actor says, "Don't snitch, Vlad." You know, Vlad, I get it. You know, it makes men cringe. Even certain, non-black men, they can't critique women's behavior and how women speak and how women act and how women talk about men without knee-jerk reaction, throwing men under the bus too. We can critique men's behavior, how men speak, right? We could critique that in a vacuum without ever saying anything about the women. We can do that without being like, well, when it concerning the women, we can do that. Our society knows how to do that. The whole planet knows how to do that. But when it's time to critique the women and their behavior, we got to slap men up a little bit. We got to throw men under the bus. We have to. We can't critique the women's behavior without also throwing men under the bus. Huh? Because God forbid we come off sexist or misogynistic. In our cases, black people as black men, misogynorous, God forbid. So and clearly, Vlad, white guy, small hat descent. But even when, the men, just like the women are groupies, the men could be groupies too. There you go. We can't do it, y'all. We can't do it. We can do it. We refuse to do it, but we can't do it, y'all. Right? So that's what Vlad was engaging in. Yawn. Right? And L's active, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. And Dr. Thunder says, and thank you for the super chat, take some of my Savage gang, Savage money, hashtag Savage gang. What's going on, Dr. Thunder? Thank you for coming up. Thank you for coming up. But yeah, look. Doc, thank you for the super chat. But I hopefully you get to listen to some of this. And we're just responding to Diallo Kenyatta as a brother I'm subscribed to that I agree with a lot. I think even you would agree with much of his assessment. Dr. Thunder, you being a centrist. I think even certain conservative brothers would agree with some of his assessment. And Diallo is articulate enough, and he puts it together really well. He's really good. He's really good. But it's the same thing with all these brothers. Especially for brothers like me on the left, you agree with them, you be like, yeah, yeah. And the way they frame it is that we're the sexist because we agree with them on so much until they start talking about men and women relationships. Like we have some childhood trauma we won't let go of. No, that's not it. We're not the women. Let the women talk. And you'll see how quick they go to, well, when I was 8 years old, shout out to old Stefco. Huh? That's how they speak. No. Y'all, what y'all don't appreciate is that even on the left, the women are leftists right up until it comes time to talk about sex, money, men with money, men without money, intimate relationships with men. And they Jekyll and Hyde now. Huh? They all kind of get it. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna hold it. They all kind of get it, but they don't really appreciate it. Right? They all kind of get it, but they don't really appreciate it.
We are same, but different, but still same.
Huh? It's not some type of childhood rejection trauma, or we're not a bunch of incels here. Half of you brothers are married, if not in long-term relationships. Like, that's not what's going on here. Diallo, as somebody who's pro-black and you've been in the sector for a while, how do you not appreciate that the men are responding to the women? And some of that response is to leave the women where they stand. Huh? Especially when they sound like this.
If you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. You can go for 22.
Huh? Diallo, consider how much of the black male population make 50,000 or less. It got to be over the 50% mark. She's telling fully at least half of black men, hey, don't even look at dating. Huh? Now what? Huh? And when y'all press them, but when y'all don't, because let's say that again, when y'all press them, which y'all don't, you know what they end up saying at the end when they have to be met with the cold reality that they might have earned way too much compared to your average man, or even above a little bit above average man. Let's play this once again. In the Black Man's Fair, we know this front and back. We know this. We know this clip. You know, we know this clip front and back. Let's play it for everybody else, though.
The man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal, and because you're dating down.
I hate that. Yeah.
What is that about? It wasn't called dating down.
Right.
Yeah.
When men were the breadwinners and all that kind of. It's called
taking care
now.
of your
It's
family.
dating down.
Yeah.
I have to date down now. What is that? You wanted to make more money, you make more money. What's the if there is a responsibility with making more money? First of all, I don't believe in any of it. But if there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it. You wanted to make more money.
Right.
Are you going to find many men out there that makes as much as you do?
And my point is, so now you're going to, because we hear so much about women that are like, oh, there's nobody out there, there's no one out there, I can't find love, I'm getting too old. Now you're going to sacrifice the fact that you could find that love because the man's not making that much money, and you're going to date down?
All right.
No,
They're wrapping us. I have a
down.
feeling this is going to be our morning rush extra.
I
We
could
have a
do bad by
lot
myself.
left.
There you go, Diallo. I'll do bad by myself. I could do bad by myself. However she said it. When they pressed with the reality, and dear Diallo, it's not that they just say single. Let's be very clear. When black women are single, they're miserable, they're angry, and they spread that like a goddamn virus amongst other black women. Diallo, you know this. You know Z ain't pull that out of his rear end. You know what it be the brothers like Dr. Jared Ball, Diallo, right? And like they talk like men are these sexist pigs. I've said this before. Men are these sexist pigs who want to oppress women. And when we get money, that's the first thing we're going to do is oppress women. But the women, on the other hand, they just want justice. They want fairness. Right? They're not looking for hyper providers that provide, protect, and shut up. That's not what they're looking for. No, that's what men say that so that men can use that as an excuse to do wrong by women. But women want fairness and justice. They want kindness in the world. They don't sound like
I
this.
miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
It's the men that are insecure, right? It's the men that are insecure and intimidated. The men are insecure and intimidated by women when women earn a lot and when women are educated. Because the women don't sound like this.
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? Whoa. Uh-oh. Huh? And Dr. Thunder, thank you for the super chat once again. Thank you for the super chat. And you get one of these if I could find it for the Sandwich Gang. There you go. Right. Once again, rest in peace, Takeoff. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Right. And Els Active says, plain out of. You know what? I might have to. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. But now that I'm bumped up against like the limits of how much you can put, that's why I have to keep on rotating things. From the back, the back of StreamYards, because I downloaded so much. I can't keep everything. I think maybe if I upgrade, oh man, that's gonna cost. Oh man, because yeah. Yeah, I might have to upgrade. We'll see. But yeah, I need to put the dial up tone, and I need to put maybe planes taken off or plane taken off. That might need to be a thing, right? But L's active. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And you get one of these, right? And he has 3 planes taken off for those of you that are listening but can't look at your screen, right? And again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? Passport bros out of here. I hear you. Right? I hear you. Man. Wow. And Better You says there's a moment in Cheryl Underwood's interview on Shay Shay where they talk about breadwinners. She said, no matter how much money I earn, I'm never the breadwinner, and ladies were upset in the comments. But of course. Huh? Diallo was married before? Ain't no way. Not maybe I'm missing something. You sure we talking about the same Diallo, Leon? Leon says our brother Diallo first marriage didn't work. I wonder why. Excuse me. Let's read that again. And Leon says Z, our brother Diallo first marriage didn't work out. I wonder why. Diallo wasn't married before, was he? Are you sure? Huh? Indigo said we really be chilling. And Sarge Willie Pete said this, right? Like Sarge Willie Pete said this maybe a few weeks ago. We're like, single brothers, they be chilling, they just be trying to chill with their friends, you know, and go out and go shooting guns and go wilding and doing car stuff and just, you know. He said the same thing you said. We just be chilling. Right? So there's that. Mr. Donnie Mac said, I'm just a chill guy. Man, look, that's not good enough for the ladies, y'all. Y'all not ambitious enough for them. Y'all sounding dusty. Y'all not spending every waking moment chasing after a dollar. Right? Man. Trell said, that tone is actually music to you, Trell? Because he said I worked in ISP and fax machine support Dion from 98 to 2002. I mean 2003. Why did I say 2002? From 98 to 2003. The tone is actually musical to me. It might be to you, Trell, but it's torture to most people. Right? There's no way. Are you sure, Leon? And Leon says, Z, you know I sit and the background on a lot of YouTubers' videos and I never comment one thing. Really? Diallo was married once? Before his wife? Ah. You know what's funny too? Diallo they spoke on, and I don't know, did he watch it? Because I know Geechee watched it, I want to say. But they were kind of making fun of Dr. Jared Ball when Dr. Malvo essentially ambushed him, right, and took his head off a few months ago when I covered that conversation that Dr. Jared Ball had with Dr. Malvo, right, Susan Malvo, and and it's like they only think it was about professionalism. It's like they don't appreciate the matriarchal, gynocratic nature of it all. Y'all really think that was just about Dr. Susan Malvo feeling wait, Julian Malvo, Susan Malvo. Ooh, no, it wasn't Susan Malvo, it was Julian Malvo. Goddamn, I'm getting my Malvos mixed up, y'all. I'm getting my Malvos mixed up. Sorry, y'all. We're just gonna say Dr. Malvo because I'm getting my Malvos mixed up. But y'all think it was just the Thank you, Julian Malvo. Thank you, Prodigies. Julian Malvo. See, I knew I was like, I'm getting my Malvos mixed up. Wait a minute. By the way, they're cousins, so that's why. That's another reason why. They're cousins. They literally are. But yeah, so once again, right? Um, they spoke as if it was just because of what Dr. Jared Ball said, this benign ass comment that he said, this blink and you'll miss it comment that he said in his book, right? The Myth of Black Buying Power, where he mentioned her name, but he didn't really insult her in any way. No, it's also because you're a black man talking on a black woman who supposedly has a higher station than you, right? Man, great comment, great timing, right? Great comment and great timing. And Trell says, no one is more blind than one who refuses to see. Once again, no one is more blind than one who refuses to see. I gotta agree 100%.
He's right, you know.
No, great timing for that one. Wow. So with that note, on that note, you guys, we'll pause right here. Man, we'll pause right here. I just want to respond back to to Diallo. You know, I agree with the brother on so much, but once again, whenever y'all get into this conversation about black men, black women, um, and y'all link Kevin Samuels of all people to fascism and okay, whatever, I don't see it, but all right. Um, without speaking about how men are responding to look, if we're just gonna call a thing, y'all raise these young men, young black men, to be simps for black women, then they come out here and get their head taken off. Not just as children, but as young adults, as fully grown adults, as middle-aged men. Y'all raise them to be nice little pets to women, to black women, and black women take their heads off. And then when y'all see how they respond to black girls, to young black women, to fully grown black women, then these men are sexist. Absolutely not. Not on Z's watch. Nope. Not on Z's watch. Huh? And that's why the black community is this
That's how
now.
it starts, you know. Taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes. A sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
Just saying. Right? So on that note, y'all, we will pause right here. Truly love piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Mr. Z over here with his ending getting messed up. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, go touch some grass. Yeah, Diallo, nah, brother, this ain't it. And that's why. Oh, you know what? Before we end out, because I said I was gonna play it, we're gonna play this one more again so that Diallo can understand. Yeah, this young lady is around your son's age, or at least at the time she was around your son's age, and this is not 20 years ago. This was like 3-ish years ago, 3.5-ish years ago. And listen to how she sounds. So we're gonna let this play out. I'll do my ending again, and we'll get out of here. Once again, Diallo, this is what men your son's age are running into. Your oldest son's age. Here we go.
So
What's your disagreement?
my disagreement is just basically about the fact that black women shouldn't have to feel obligated to smile to black men. We're holding a lot of trauma. We're holding a lot of problems, mental health issues.
Hold on. How old are you?
24.
Um, I'm gonna say this one more time. I need you to pay attention. I need all black women to pay attention. The world does not owe you understanding or me understanding. If you have all this trauma, go seek professional help because the rest of us do not have to suffer you.
Okay, it's easy to tell black women and black people
Do you not
in the black
who is it,
community
no,
to get
whose
help,
responsibility is it to get the help they need?
but it's not available readily to our
That is
community that easily.
bullshit.
With the West Side growing, how many people
Whose
can afford?
responsibility is it to get the mental health they need? Who?
It is ultimately the responsibility of us to get the mental health that we need. But I'm
You
letting
mean
you know
you
that
mean the
we are
person in
very
the
underserved.
You can't make this stuff up. So you say we're underserved. You got to tell me that the therapists that already exist are overloaded. We don't go get help, man. You just had a therapist on here before. I talked to psychiatrists, and first of all, understand who you're talking to. I know hundreds of anyway. What do black people tend to deal with? How do black women tend to deal with their mental health issues? With a licensed clinician or with Jesus?
That is what's pushed to us since
No,
from the age of we are little.
No, ma'am.
That's something we grow.
I asked who. To see, I asked who they see. We're not gonna play. I'm not gonna play the lily pad game. Did they go to a clinician or did they go to the church?
The church most often.
All right, and these are educated. Most of these women are educated, and they've heard about therapy. They make the choice not to go. No different than I'm gonna switch it up. No different than women understanding here that being 200 pounds at 5 foot tall is unhealthy. But yet 80% of our women are overweight and 80% of that is obese. They know the truth. They choose to do something else.
The narrative pushed to us most often is that a guy wants a woman with a big ass. He wants, a thick lady.
Accountability is kryptonite to modern women. Man, you say the traumas. If I accept them, then you got to do something about it. Because what about the traumas that the black man has to deal with? But we still have to get out here and be functioning people in society, contributing. You don't get to walk around and say, have a special victim status.
I'm not saying we should have a special victim status, but our circumstance is different. We are women.
You're 24 years old. Is your circumstance harder or easier than your grandmother and your great grandmother?
Exponentially easier. We have access to information we didn't have.
Exponentially easier, but you're handling it worse. Your grandmother, your great grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we are all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being
Thank you. Clip it, slice it, put it on World Star. She said it, not me. Now that you're independent, you don't need to be with. There you go. There you go. And there you go, black man. There it is. She finally got one to say it.
Build businesses with us.
Your grandmothers and your great grandmothers had more trauma and more stress and did it better. They have exponentially less and they're handling it worse. But it's because they're free and can do what the hell they want to. They'll need to be with you. So you don't need to feel any guilt for taking care of you, for putting yourself first and making your passion, your purpose, your priority. You don't need to feel guilty because this 24-year-old woman just said it. They don't feel any guilt about it. Thank you. So don't ask black men to care about your traumas when you can't even smile at us.
Again, let them talk. Let them talk. Shout out to Giovanni, right? Just let them talk. Yeah. So with that, dear Diallo, this was over 2 hours long. This is my response. Once again, rest in peace, Kevin. Kevin's not here to defend himself against the fascist accusations. Yeah. But let's be very clear. Y'all want black men to have a black community with, women that sound like this. 24 years old. admitting to you, hey, we don't gotta kind of build with y'all. We don't gotta do nothing with y'all. We free now. And as Indigo Flow would say, well, use a provider now, boo, and deal with it. No? So on that note, y'all, we will end out right here. We'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and y'all have a great rest of y'all. Great rest of y'all day. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.